Good evening, brothers and sisters. I normally don't come on this late and make a video, but I just threw some seeds to my bird. But I had to come out here, I water them, get their waters and stuff fed, and spend a little time with them before they get locked up. But I figured that I would bring my phone out and just record, because earlier I totally forgot to make a video. I got sidetracked with life in general. So I had a dream a couple of mornings ago. I want to say it wasn't this morning. I don't think it was yesterday morning. I think it was the day before that. And my goodness, I might need to walk. They might be pretty loud. This is Louise just coming over to say hi. She's sweet. So, the dream that I had, I really feel like the Lord was showing me what's going on in the world today, and possibly, let me just share the dream with you. So I was in a room, and it was a room with tables and chairs, and I'm not sure, it seemed to be like a place people would go and eat, but I don't know if people were eating. I never seen any food. I'm just going to walk. I never seen any food, so it was just tables and chairs. A bunch of people were there. I seemed to be really familiar with the people there, and there was this woman, and I didn't know her name. And I really didn't even, everybody starts following me. I didn't know her name, and I don't really know that I know what she looks like, but she was complaining very loud so where other people could hear it. And she was complaining about this other woman that was there who was a mom. She had her daughter there, and she was complaining that this mom was giving her daughter hormone blockers or puberty blockers, and she was loudly complaining about this. And I went over to the girl. It was a teenager. She couldn't have been any older. She had to have been between the ages of like 10 and 12, or 10 and 13 maybe. She didn't seem like she was older than 14. But I went over to this young girl, and lovingly I asked for her to grab my hand. I said, "Can I have your hand?" And she gave me her hand, and I began praying for her. And I don't remember what the prayer was. I just know I began praying for her out loud. And after I prayed for her, I'd opened my eyes, and I realized she had a Bible sitting next to her. And I began telling her that if she opened up her Bible and read, even starting at just one chapter a day, that she would begin seeing her life change. And I treated her as though she didn't know anything about the Bible, because I don't know if she did. I could assume if this really was going on in the dream, she didn't know who Jesus was and didn't know much about the Bible. But I opened up the Bible, and I said, for instance, if you go to 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and you read that chapter, then tomorrow you could go back into 1 Corinthians and read chapter 2. And so after I had this conversation with her, I went to go walk away, and there was some people that were like patting me, you know, like they were glad that I did that. Like they were happy that I went and prayed with her and talked to her about the Bible. So after this, I knew it was getting ready for it. I had to get ready to go. So I went to this, it was like closet door, to go and grab out any diapers that I had brought for my daughter. And there wasn't any in there, so I got ready to leave. As I was leaving, I seen on my right hand side this man was getting my attention, and I looked over at him, and him and his wife were sitting there, and they were sitting side by side, so they weren't sitting at tables, and they had a newborn baby, and I knew this newborn baby was a boy, and he said something to me about if I could save syringes, because their baby was to be on fentanyl to keep him alive, that he needed it, and that if he wasn't on it, he wouldn't even have survived as a newborn. Like, he wouldn't have survived. He was a newborn. He wouldn't have survived when he was born if he wasn't on that. And I watched them as I was talking to them. They gave that baby a shot, and after they gave that newborn baby the shot, he was on his stomach, and I'm not sure where they gave him the shot at. I don't really remember, but I remember he was on his belly, and as soon as they gave that to him, he began perking up. He picked his head up a little bit. You know how babies kind of like, they're very maybe he wasn't like newborn. He might have been like up to 3 months, because you know how babies, you can do tummy time, you know, at a few months old, and start getting them used to that and stuff like that. These turkeys. They think I have treats. So after this, I left. Okay, after they told me this, and I seen him give him the injections, and he began picking up his head and stuff, I left. When I woke up, this was just, all this detail was just really sticking to me. So I just began to pray and meditate on it, and I called my friend Veronica, of course, and I talked over it with her, and I believe wholeheartedly that the beginning of the dream is representing what we're seeing in the world right now, with parents allowing their children to do this to their bodies, even though they're young. I mean, teenagers don't really know what they're doing. They can change their minds tomorrow about what they're doing today, and just their bodies are growing, and it's just a time in their life that this shouldn't be happening, but more and more parents are coming alongside of, you know, their teens, and allowing them to do this. And so I believe that that represents that. Now, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure if the woman represents how some of the church treats this sin, but I know, and I felt like how I demonstrated the love for that girl and prayed for her and talked to her about the Word of God, that is exactly, I felt like that's exactly how we are supposed to be handling that situation. And so after that, with the baby, the newborn baby, and the parents, I believe that represents the fact that parents are so willing to put their children on any kind of medicine that is recommended because a doctor tells them that it's a life-saving measure, or that it will help them, and because it is prescribed by a doctor, so many parents are running to doctors and putting their children on these medications, whether they are addicting, or you know, narcotics, or, you know, it would kill any other person if they got a hold of it, but their child is on it, and they're in these whatever doses that, you know, I'm sure just like even with children, it starts off with teeny tiny, and then you have to eventually, like everybody else, raise doses on things because your body gets immune and you have to up doses on things. But I believe that represents the fact that, you know, nobody goes to Jesus anymore. They run to doctors. And this baby, just how saddening it was that fentanyl, I mean, if you don't know anything about drugs, like fentanyl is probably one of the worst drugs that you could allow your family members to be on. I mean, can't even say allow, because it's something that you don't even get from doctors. It's anything anybody can be on. And even the drug addicts that have been doing drugs for a long time say there's something not right with fentanyl. that it's not good, and it's far more addicting than anything else that is out there, and it's very damaging, and a lot of people die from it. And so I don't know why fentanyl seemed to be the thing that they were, in my dream, that they were putting into this baby, but it was. And like I said, I believe it just represents the fact that parents are so willing to give their children whatever it takes to keep them alive, or keep whatever, instead of going to God and praying. Like, there's no faith. There's no faith in God. It's faith in man and faith in medicine. And that's what I believe that it represents. I'm really sorry if I'm like all over the place. This probably wasn't a good idea to come out here around animals and record, because I can't chew bubblegum and walk at the same time. So probably wasn't a good idea for me to do this. But anyhow, I'm going to leave you with that. I really pray that you all are seeking the Lord, and that you're allowing him to use you, in the season that you're in. I don't know if you're going through what kind of trials or tribulations that you're going through, but I pray that you'll be able to see the Lord's hand in your life as you go through them, and that you would allow the Lord to receive honor and glory from whatever it is that you're going through, and that you just praise him during every storm. I have been in a battle for the past couple years. If you've been following me, you know that I have been fighting a battle in my home, and I'm still in that battle. And I just give it to the Lord and allow him to just continue to work on my life the way that he sees fit, and I'm just going to continue to do that. And so if you would like to, pray for me and pray for my husband, that would be very much appreciated. And just, I pray that you continue to look up. We know that we're in this season, and that Jesus is going to be coming anytime. So I pray that you continue to pray to be accounted worthy, to escape all that is about to happen, so you can stand before the Son of Man. So I'm going to go, and I hope that you all are blessed, and that you have a good night, evening, day, wherever that you are in the world. And if I don't see you in the next video, I will see you in the air. Until next time.